The family of Berkin Elvan had called for a mass gathering, and as the funeral cortege of the 15-year-old passed slowly through central Istanbul, tens of thousands answered that call, the biggest public demonstration since the Gezi Park protests of last June. Earlier, residents of Okmidana, the poor neighborhood where the Elvans live, filled the streets around the house of worship where his body lay. A schoolmate remembered him.
We used to play football and volleyball together. He was a happy, cheerful boy.
We don't want to raise our children in the current atmosphere. We want to raise them with freedom of expression, not oppression.
We are standing today against a dictatorial leadership. The dictatorship is holding all powers of judiciary and police in his hands. We stand for democracy and human rights.
As Berkin Elvan's mourning family watched on, the crowd chanted, "Berkin, you're immortal." They blamed Turkey's Prime Minister for his support for police who fired the tear gas canister which hit the boy in the head. Erdogan, murderer, was another refrain.
What has angered the family of Berkin Elvan and the residents of his neighborhood so much is that during the 9 months that the boy lay in a coma in hospital, the authorities had the time to investigate, to find out who was responsible, and they failed to do that. That, they say, is symptomatic of a failure of justice in Turkey.
Berkin Elvan weighed only 16 kilograms by the time they put him in his coffin. He's the 6th young man to die as a result of police violence related to the Gezi protests. The catalogue of grievances of people who don't support the ruling AK party is also growing. Turkey's Prime Minister says they should take their objections to the ballot box, not the street. But on the news of Berkin Elvan's death, some businesses closed, universities cancelled lectures, schools shut for the day, and some unions called a one-day stoppage, adding to the crowds which followed the coffin to its resting place in a central Istanbul cemetery. But this funeral was about a lot more than a young boy who died too soon. Anita, McNaught, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.